So today I am, as you can see, making my coasters. Now, I know I'm a skincare company, so coasters may not seem like they make sense, but they actually do. Jesmonite is this material that I absolutely adore using. It is a eco-friendly water-based resin that has the durability of concrete but that ceramic look. It is highly durable. It's great for placing your jewelry, your skincare products, all the things on these dishes. So I make everything from hearts to larger trays, and I just found that the coaster size astrology trays are just such a fun specialized gift that you could get, or just like a nice something nice and something different. So here, this is my multi-step process and how I make them. Obviously, I can make all different signs and all different types of trays, but this is just one that I always thought was fun, and this is a little bit of a process. Here comes the fun part, sanding. Sanding can get a little monotonous, I'm not gonna lie, but it is a really important step because you really want to make sure to get a smooth finish and a really soft, smooth look. A lot of this product, when people touch it and pick it up, is about how smooth and the feel of it. And it's just a really important step that you just cannot skip. So you usually start off with a coarser grit, depending on how the trays came out. Each tray and each shape that I make is always a little different. With the coasters, it seems to be pretty consistent, but you always want to make sure if there were any extra lumps or air bubbles that you weren't able to work out while it's set, then you'll have a little bit harder work in the sanding process. But I always start off with like a coarse grit, and then I always use water. To keep in mind, Jesmonite is a water-based resin, so using water and more of a wet sand actually gets a smoother, shinier look to it. So I'll start off there, and then I'll fine-tune it with a finer grit to kind of smooth it all out. And I'm always using my fingers as a test and a guide to make sure that the tray is smooth, there's no harsh edges and things like that. This little gadget I found helps me get into the cracks and crevices of the coasters. These particular coasters that I use are astrological signs, so they actually have the constellation on the top of the tray, and sometimes getting in there and making sure you get all of the any excess Jesmonite or any kind of debris that might have gotten in there, because at the end of the day, as these dry, you really want them to dry as you're going to seal them. You don't want to add and incorporate any other water once they're fully dry. You want to actually seal them, and by making sure to get into those little grooves and crevices, you make sure that everything is out, so that when it actually dries and it's ready to be sealed, you're not sealing any imperfections into the tray. As you can see, I'm really particular and a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to these. I really want to make sure that they are smooth and really refined and just have a really finished look to them. Jesmonite is such a versatile product with no VOCs, so even though these are coasters, you can actually use them in a lot of different ways. You can use them to store your hand soap, or you can put your jewelry on them. You can even put your skincare products, which was the original reason I started making these trays in the first place. So it's really important to me that they have a really nice refined look, so they are like a piece of home decor, and kind of spice up your bathroom or whatever. So I just take a little extra time to make sure to get it right. After I finished sanding and rinsing them off, making sure I got all of the sand and the sanding dust, if you will, or paste that comes off, I like to let them dry out for 24 hours at least. This allows the water to officially drain away from the tray and not get absorbed by the tray. So I do need to, I sit them out, I'll rotate them, just making sure that they're fully dry and that all the water has evaporated so that they're ready to be sealed. Time to seal. This is one of my favorite parts because you kind of get to see what it's going to look like as it's finished. once it's dried out completely, it does have a dull quality to it. So sealing it kind of brings it back to life and allows you to kind of get a sneak peek, if you will, about how the product is going to look when it's finished. So there's two that I use. I will use like a water-based sealer or the Jesmonite sealer. I'll use those two because they are water-based. They are repellent against water. It also, again, this material is heat and fire resistant, so I keep it in line with the sealers that they recommend. I typically will use the Jesmonite sealer, but if I can't get my hands on that one, I will just use a really good water-based sealer. And that's usually just the first part of it. I will let that sit for about a minimum of a half an hour, sometimes longer, and longer is fine, but at least 30 minutes. And then I will actually follow it up with a beeswax sealer. It's a countertop and stone sealer. It's food grade. So because you can use this for your skincare products, I like to use food grade things, since my mask you can use obviously on your face, so I want it to be a safe dish for that. And I also don't want it to it's just a nicer, better quality, stronger seal, and I like doing that as a finish because it gives it a really, really polished look, and it also just sets in a really nice way and is very long lasting. So I like to do those two. The last one with the wax is just a extra added bonus that I like to do, but it is a really good quality orange wax that I like to use. So I will link that down below if you guys are interested in this product. You can use it for a lot of different things, cutting boards, things like that you want to maintain the life of. Now just giving it the Shia stamp of approval, and I will typically add feet to these just to secure them and stop them from sliding and giving you that extra bit of security. But that's it. That's how I make my coasters, and yeah, it's quite a bit of a process, but I really enjoy these, and they are absolutely the perfect gift.